welcome to our event on T24 Active Directory integration, streaming banking workflows with enhanced security. My name is Andrew, and in this event, we will explore the seamless integration of Temenos T24, a leading core banking software with the robust capabilities of Active Directory. So yes, if you have any questions during the event, please feel free to ask them using the chat. We will answer all of the questions after the event, so please wait for contact from our side. And so yeah, let's switch right now to the essence of the event and talk more about Active Directory integration. I will handle it right now to Rakesh, our T24 expert. So Rakesh, the show is yours.
Hello everyone, very good day. I'm Rakeshan from Performetrics. Welcome to our T24 to Active Directory integration event. So let's start with the Active Directory authentication related cyber attacks. So according to the expertinsights.com, there is a data we collected, and it says 61% of all the breaches involve the credentials. So we'll have to be more careful with the user and password related details. And 4.2 million US dollars is the average cost of a data breach. So it's really a huge amount. And what is the root cause for this cyber attack? Mainly, the root cause involves lack of automation and password management and authentication. The other root causes are like lack of skilled staff, cloud migration, not utilizing available technologies, and then detecting or migrating of insider threats, and so on. So let's see how attackers will steal the credentials. So the first thing is by brute force. This is a simple software or a program that systematically tries all the possibilities of a combination of passwords and try to get one right password and then breaches into the system. And then the other way is the social engineering. This is where most of the attackers steal the credentials by sending a link and a phishing URL to their system or mobile. And then if they just click on that link, all the data of their system or mobile, everything will be in their hands. So they can easily collect the passwords, user credentials, and everything. So how to protect your business against identity threats? So some of the policies has to be changed from bank side or institution sides. A few mentioned possibilities are like enforcing strong password policies, multi-factor authentication. It's like getting the OTP even after entering the password, security awareness trainings to get the strong passwords and follow the guidelines. And then the main thing is identity and access management solution. This is the crucial aspect in any core banking or institution. So let's discuss about it. In T24 or any other, there are two types. One is authentication and authorization. So what is authentication? This authentication says if a person is having valid credentials or access to log in to the institution or bank. It's nothing but to validate the identity. And authorization is to validate the permission, even though he might have access. What kind of accesses, what kind of permission he has to access the core banking system. So this access management in our T24 core banking system mainly involves the credentials, users, and password that will be stored in our local database. So this is a really a threat to core banking because if they try to hack any database of T24, they'll get all the user related details. So what we are going to do is we are going to come up with a single sign-on options or the Active Directory LDAP governance based authentications. So let's see how this particular Active Directory works in T24. So here we have a T24 login screen. Then this login screen will have user and password details to be entered. And then once we enter it, this I'm telling after integrating it with the Active Directory, it will redirect the authentication first to the Active Directory. First, it will check whether this Active Directory has the user and password details, the enter password details in it. And then if it's there, then it will redirect it to the T24 to authorize it. The same user should be present in T24 as well. And then the user roles can be defined in T24 level, in the configuration level, or the Active Directory level as well. So this role is crucial to get different screens in the T24 and different type of functionality for business people and all those. So what's happening before is it will directly log in into the T24 using the username and password. But with the introduction of Active Directory, it will check the Active Directory details, and then it will come up with the T24 related details. If everything is fine, then it will allow us to log in. So instead of managing these passwords and users in T24 repository, we can manage it in some access management solutions like Active Directory and so on. So let's see how the screens looks like after Active Directory integration. So this is a base. There are two types of screens which we can configure through the Active Directory LDAP. One is a basic screen. This is nothing but just a pop-up where authorization headers will be used and no cookies and no concept of automatic logouts. This might we can use just for a testing purpose. And then form-based authentication. So this is similar to our T24 web browser screen. We can change all the details accordingly in the T24 configuration level. So we can introduce bank's icon here, and we can change the screen accordingly from the backend, and then we can configure it accordingly. And this involves post of authorization request, and it also has cookies and automatic logout. But one main thing we need to remember is the security that is recommended. One is a TLS and HTTPS. These two should be used in order to authenticate, means use this particular basic or form based authentications. So let's see how to configure this basic form-based authentication of Active Directory to the T24. There are a few steps which needs to be configured. First thing is user level details. The sign-on name in the T24 should match with the sign-on name in Active Directory. This SAMA account name, usually this will be the sign-on name in Active Directory. This both should match. And then whatever the user is present in T24, the same user should be present in Active Directory. So what happens whenever we try to log into Active Directory from the form-based or basic screen, it will hit the Active Directory first. Here it will check for the user and password entered. And here, if it's present, then it will again check for the T24 user, and then it will authenticate. Here we can configure two ways. One is pre-authenticated users. So it won't ask password from the T24 side. All the passwords can be maintained in Active Directory level. If the user is set as pre-authenticated, then only username is enough for it to log into T24. If it's not set, then the both passwords should be maintained same in T24 level as well as a Active Directory level, but this is not recommended since we are doing Active Directory in order to maintain all the users and password in a different access management system. So, and the next one is this pre-authenticated concept of user as well as OFS. OFS mode for the session. Session is used for a browser in T24. So in order to log in or do any actions through the browser for OFS, the session OFS mode, OFS type is required. So that can also be set as pre-authenticated. So only the username can be used to log in or do any actions. And then next, this is a main part in configuration level. So so I'm going to tell that this username and everything should be configured. How this username should hit the Active Directory. So for example, we are going to introduce another security domain in a security XML of the T24 that should be defined in another XML, and then the role should be configured in one of the XML. So all these are interlinked. For example, there is security XML where we need to configure the Active Directory IP address, bind user, all the user related details, and the Active Directory related details to establish the connection. That same security domain has to be mentioned in another XML where it should be recognized as a this new security domain has been added. And then which roles we are going to use should be mentioned in another XML. So once this setup is done, what will happen? The above screen will appear. So before doing these changes, what we need to do is we need to stop the JBoss, and then after doing the changes, we'll have to clear the temp and cache files. The way this is required because we are going to introduce new security domain name. So the JBoss has to be restarted with that particular security domain name on this particular screen in T24. So we'll have to do that. And then once everything is set, what is going to happen is, first thing, once we enter the password, once the JBoss is started, it's try to establish the connection between the T24 and Active Directory. Once that's done, we are going to enter the username and password and then log in into the T24 through the Active Directory. And here, there is another point which we can mention here, that's we can also include the MFA configuration here through the Active Directory. We can integrate Active Directory with the other applications where after entering the password, it will ask for the OTP. If that OTP is correct, then it will redirect it to the T24, and then the T24 sign-on name will be checked, and then it will log in. So all the security configurations can be done from Active Directory level. That's a different concepts, and we can enhance the security of our core banking. So why this Active Directory integration is required? And why only Active Directory? Other third-party applications is also there. One main thing is a group-based access control. So it acts as a centralized authentication. We can create groups, and in that groups, you can mention the user. For admin group, these are all the users, and that can be configured in the T24 level in XML changes, and then this accessibility can be given to that. In the same way, if you want to create another role, that particular role can also be configured. Like that, group-based access will be there. Scalability, manageability, and time required is also quite less. This password, account logout, everything will be maintained in Active Directory level itself. So no need to worry about the T24 related details. We just have to configure it, but everything will be maintained in Active Directory. So we have implemented the Active Directory in a couple of banks, and we recommend it strongly for all the banks to try this option to enhance their security level. So let's see our services. What our services are like: benchmarking. This involves the performance quality gates, performance testings, load testings, and everything, troubleshooting, issue fixing, and then the observability, site reliability engineering, security like Active Directory integration, other security concepts and projects. We also provide T24 trainings, T24 migration, upgrade, and all the T24 related tasks like development, testing, comp support, everything. Our focus is mainly on performance tuning as well. So we are partnered with the Dynatrace. That's a really good tool to monitor the T24. We also provide T24 related tuning, performance tuning as well. So I'll hand it over to Andrew for our Go benchmark related introduction. Over to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rakesh. Very informative session. I guess for each and every organization who need to handle the Active Directory integration, there is a very good starting point. If you would like to know more details, please contact us. We'll be happy to assist you. So we at Performance Metrics are focusing on performance engineering, observability, and AI, and we have created a tool which is enabling our customers to do more with less effort. To answer that, we have built something like knowledge models where we collect knowledge in an intelligent and reusable way so companies can identify existing gaps. They can compare to the industry standards or peers and have almost immediately human AI powered recommendation and mentorship so they can have a guidance during a digital transformation journey. Our product in this area is Go Benchmark, the intelligence platform where we are following the philosophy to collect industry knowledge from experts like performance engineers or quality assurance expert, or observability specialist. And everyone interested in transforming their business can analyze their knowledge levels to position themselves and establish the next steps in their digital transformation. So on Go Benchmark, you will have not only visibility and score details about the assessment, but also a human AI powered remediation plan to understand what approach you should follow to improve your maturity and fill the gaps in existing processes and standards. So yes, right now I will share my screen. I will take it over. Rakesh. So yes, I'm sharing my screen right now. So let's walk you through our platform. This is the landing page. So when you will go to the gobenchmark.io, you will see a couple of videos, and after scrolling and reading very useful information about our platform and what is the purpose of building maturity levels and how important the maturity levels are in your organization, what pros are for using that approach. So yes, you can go to the platform straight away and log in, and after the login, that will be the word, that will be the application you will be able to see. So on the plan, you can easily start the assessment. First, you need to choose the module you are interested in. For the purpose of this very quick demo, we are on the monitoring maturity model. So imagine you are a person who's responsible for monitoring in your company or observability processes, and you would like to know uh, how good your organization is at it. And you need to have a tool what will explain you the process, what will establish your current score. So here on the plan, you can see we have three domains. We have KPI, monitor, and control. And yes, usually it will take you roughly 2-3 minutes. And after answering all discovery questions, you will be able to immediately see the results and analyze how you are doing and compare your score to the industry leaders. So let's say that we finish our assessment, and here when you switch to home and you would like to see your score. I switch to my score after finalizing my assessment and answering all of the discovery questions. So you can see my score for the purpose of this demo, because I finished the assessment before, is C. So there is a plenty room of to improve the maturity in my organization. You can see where you are. You can see different charts. What are they are comparing your organization to that, how that is looking in the world of the different companies, because don't forget you have plenty of competitors, and they are still improving their maturity models as well. So you can see your maturity level, and for purpose via performetrics, let's see that you want to compare yourself only to the banks, because you are working in the banking industry. So the overall of the banking is like very quite impressive, because it's on the B level. You are on the C level. So there will be the question, okay, so I finished my assessment. What should be my next step? So this process, as you can see, when you are trying to discover where you are at the current state, at the current moment, this process in the enterprise environments can take months to build and analyze your benchmark score. And yes, using our platforms, you can save a lot of time and have immediate results and know straight away your weak points and blind spots in your organization. You will get up-to-date remediation plan, which is actually a kind of cookbook that will give you a lot of instructions and information on how you can keep and improve your practices in terms of knowledge models you are working currently. So To summarize it, after finishing your assessment and see, okay, I'm on the score, see what should be next. We'll provide you the remediation plan, the next steps you should follow to improve your organization. So usually to establish maturity, you will invite a business consulting companies to give you strategies and point out the gaps and blind spot. But this approach is more time and revenue consuming and is not scalable compared to using our Go Benchmark platform, where within a few minutes you can get a customizable remediation plan built to your individual situation. It is more guidance and mentorship to understand how you can improve yourself. So we are trying to answer your questions, and this is complicated process when you would like to follow the standard approach. When you invite a consulting company, they will go through the countless of interviews with your team members, and after that you will finish with one presentation what will not explain the process on the best manner. So yes, we at Performetrics are bringing this fantastic Go Benchmark platform to you, where we will share the best practices and methods, and we are happy to support your project going forward. So please contact us if you would like to learn more about our T24 services, about Active Directory integration. We'll be happy to support you in this journey. And if you would like to learn more also about our Go Benchmark platform, know how you can start and how you can start working on the maturity levels in your organization.